The duck is back, and that's a fact. The duck is back. As you can see, it's a Monday morning, a bit overcast. Good for videos. I've done my hair. And I've had a shave, and I've tidied myself up. Yeah, yeah, we're Monday morning, and got interrupted with that other video the other day, and I just wanted to say again, after you watched the video that we got interrupted, is that I'm showing you this because there's a couple of different ways of doing this, and there's the easy way and there's the hard way. There's always the hard way. So on the understanding that if you've watched the other video, I don't have to go over what we've already been over, but basically the idea is, when you're doing the back wheel, is always to have the bike just a little bit higher than the wheel. If you can set it up like this, you can see that the axle is nearly in line, right? And the reason, I mean, the right height going through this, and the reason why that is to make it easier for putting the axle through, right? So you can have the bike higher, and then you can, like this model, the wheel goes through this gap. I don't have to have it much higher. I can have this, I think, another 1.5 inches higher, and the wheel will go through here. It doesn't have to go down through the trapdoor. One of the benefits of this style of motorbike and this style of guard, so, and then if you haven't got a scissor jack like this or set up, and you've just got what I call a quick hoist, is like a pole, or you've got a couple of your mates what have lifted it onto a box, right? And the wheel is quite a different height between the axle and the wheel. So for instance, your wheel would be sitting down here, and then all I would do is I would, in those circumstances, if I'm able, is I would just have a block of wood like that, and I would throw a block, lift the wheel and put a block of wood under it to make that wheel a lot closer, right? Obviously, if you're on the side of the road, wherever, you just got to make do. But basically, what you always want to make sure is that the bike is just a little bit higher than the center of the wheel, right? The other thing I would like to point out is and a lot of you guys won't need this, but there'll be guys out there thinking about when they get a 250 tyre turns into a $500 bill just to change the bloody wheel. They'll think, well, maybe I might try and do it myself. So, and that's what this video is about, with my peanut glasses on, Professor Peanut. What I was going to say is, when you take these spacers off, you just take them off the bike. Like as I take them off, I always put them face down. So the face down is the way that they go back up, see? So they get picked up and go up like that. And the same with these spacers. Obviously on the more modern bikes, they just have the spacer, and they don't have this internal seal here. Really, it's on the side of the bearing. And there's good properties and bad properties to that, okay? I'm not probably going to get into that today, but anyway, all the more reason for having a well-lubed axle. So I'm going to do a couple of quick demonstrations today so you can see how these easy scenarios play out. So we just put that chain on again, push that spacer in. Basically what we do is we just, the other spacers are in there, make sure we're going into the adjuster, put that on there, and then it's just roll the wheel back and you can see it's just about there already, and then it's just a simple case of me picking that axle up, wheel up and sliding it through, right? Let's move you over. I spend more time working out how to do these videos than bloody doing them, to be honest, in my head. Okay, so that's just, and the glory about this now is we just push that to move. It's already in there. To move anything, we just lean the wheel back and pull the axle back, and it will self-align. Right, then we pick up the, just make sure we're in the shot. Pick up the spacer. I've already lubed it. Work that in. Right, now the brake arm on this model, I'm going to try and do this so I'm out of the way, which is a bit harder. The brake arm, right, once again just lean the axle back, put it in, and it'll sit there, probably won't today because I'm trying to show you. And the outside bush, I'm not going to put that in because I want to do another demonstration of another way, but basically what would happen then, once I got that bush pretty much in there, is just I would just lift the wheel and shove it through, right? So that's one way, right? The other way, so I was going on about this bar, the other way you can do it. This is a better way to do it if the bike is higher and you've got access to a bar. This is another way. So I'll just drop that off. Same deal again. I just don't want that brake arm crashing onto the deck. Something else I want to do. Okay, so I'm going to just start that again, and you can see why it pays to have everything nicely lubed up. Okay, so I'm going to do that again. I'm not going to move the camera. I'm just going to put the axle. Oh, actually, I'm lying now. The other way is you have a bar. You put, I won't put that in there. You have your brake arm, and then you have your wheel. Oh, yeah, just put the pipe through, or bar. Just put shit onto that now. Just put another whack of grease on that. Right, so we got our bar in there. This is another way, and we just pull that bar back. The spacer in there, and the same thing, you start the same way. You put the spacer in, you line it roughly up, but instead you lift the wheel with the bar, see? And then you just jiggle the bar, you see? And it just follows it through. Okay? Just push this back. Okay. This bike, I wasn't happy when I made this. When I converted it to P&Ms, there was the spacer was different, so I had to make a spacer up. And I haven't perfected it. When I say I had to make one up, damn it. I just stitched this washer onto it, right? And I've got to make a new one. And I want to make it with more area so it covers the inside of that arm, and I haven't got round to it. As usual, the last bikes to get worked on are your own when you're a mechanic. Right, let's do that again. Put that in there, push that. You see I'm just straightening the wheel, and that unjams the axle to make it easier to slide. That goes that way, and then I just lift the top of the wheel, and the axle's just sticking out a little bit. Line it roughly up, and a bit of a push goes through. Put the spacer in. Looks pretty close, and then once again all I'm doing is lifting the back wheel back. Spacer's done a dirty on me. You might. Always a way when you're trying to show people something. And that, I think that illustrates why I want to make one with a big step on that, so it can't do that. It can't drop down into that groove, you see. And I think that just illustrates it perfectly, because it does that every time. It's like, let's see. Okay. Without second time around. And then the rest we just put in the bike together. I won't bore you with that detail. Two different ways. The other way, if the bike is up quite high and you've got the clearance, another good way is you roll the wheel into position, and then if you've got a trolley jack at your available, you get someone I've done it myself, but you're working on a flat floor in the workshop and the bike is sitting on the flat floor. You lift the back wheel and you run in the trolley jack, right? And then it's just a case of the trolley jack is sitting under the tyre, and then you just jack it to the appropriate height, and that's another real easy way. It's about the last thing I want to say on this. I just want to show you something different I found, which you guys probably may, some of you will be aware of it, some of you won't. So, just move this. So this is the locator. This is the locator for the brake arm. I just see this thing dangling off here, you know, and some of you in your brain will make a comment about it's absolutely fine for your brake caliper to dangle off like that, off this for a couple of days. Absolutely fine. If you're going to leave it like that for a month, no, I would put a rope in to hold it, okay? But that's not what I want to show you. This is what I want to show you. This goes on here, you can see with a couple of bolts, goes on there. And to make the wheel easy to come off and on, they've made this unboltable, see? And that goes on there, right? You slide that in there and then you bring the arm up and you put the two bolts in from the back. For years and years I've done these bikes without taking that off. And like an old dog can learn new tricks. I had a bike here a couple of months back and it was bloody near impossible to do it without taking it off. And then it just dawned on me, oh, just take it off. So I took it off and it was a lot easier. So I've turned it into my procedure now. So this is what I wanted to show you about. Right? And when you look closely at this component, oh God, hang on a minute. Put my blind eyes on. The reason why I wanted to bring this up is because there's lots of guys with this problem. See? So it jumps up and down there on some of these models. And if you look in here, right, see if we can do this. I've got oil on my hands, it doesn't like oil. You can see just with the vibration of, is it going back to, just with the vibration, how much that's worn away. So I've devised a cunning plan, and I've thought quite clearly about this, because the arm has to move, the brake arm, which is this, has to move with the swing arm, right? But we can actually fix this. I've realised the other day, because I've noticed this for a while now. And this, just make sure you're in the shot. I'll just bring the camera down. Now, I see the time is getting up, but basically I want to put the bike together. So what I'm going to do, right, is I'm going to drill the bottom of this. This is just a demonstration bolt. It's not going to be this bolt. I'm going to drill up through here, and I'm going to put this through, and this is going to get locked to the arm with a bolt, right? And that's going to pull that top down, and then it won't be able to rattle, right? And then what I'll do is I'll leave X amount of this sticking out down with a lock nut, and that's to remind me when I'm doing the wheel that I need to loosen that to remove the back wheel or put it back on. So it's a really, I think it's going to be an actual fact. Yeah, anyway, feel like I just seen the time. Man, it goes so fast. All right, hope you're having a good one. Stay cool. Later.